What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of E4 Tower of God Season 2. This is episode 24, and with me, as always, I have Bluespade.
Yeah. So following up in the last episode, Bomb has finally reunited with most of his friends that he's been separated with, since the end of season one. What I did question, what well, what left me scratching my head when it's revealed that the course of the second season took at least a few years. They didn't
Yeah,
specify
that was
how many
another
years.
thing that, I was going to bring that up too. That apparently, because they referenced the fight with Bem and Meisno, and they said that happened 3 years ago. I'm trying to get a sense of like the timeline. I mean, I guess so. So we know that in between season 1 and 2, there's a 5 year time skip.
Yeah,
And
and
now I guess somehow this whole time, like I guess at least after the fight with Meisno, there was a 3 year time skip. And I guess like maybe that all happened off screen when Bum and his new team were trying to get to, I guess, where they are now. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean it really doesn't feel that way though. Just based on the way everything is happening, it doesn't feel like that much time had passed.
it
So
it just doesn't look, and especially like with some of the characters don't like they aged all that much.
yeah, I mean the only thing that's different now is that Bomb is more expressive. Like you see his eyes, and then he's kind of more like somewhat how he was in season one. And a lot, he's obviously like changed a lot since the beginning of season two in terms of how he acts around people and everything. But, that's the only like I guess really noticeable difference. Everything else just seems like they don't look physically any different. So yeah, it's like that was kind of surprising when I heard that too.
Yeah, but of course the main meat of this episode is of course Bomb's three remaining friends end up being taken hostage by Fug, and he has to go rescue them. Um, and which of course which will be the fight. Well, like what was it? The guy in the mask. I think his name is Reflagio.
Reflagio.
Yeah, he mentions that this will be Bomb's final battle if he can like face him alone, and he'll let his friends go. But Bomb goes after Reflagio himself, while Endorsi and I think one other group go after like the other two hostages. And and I think we also see Casino behind the scenes. I think uh, near the end of the episode, he's going after Emily or something.
Yeah, supposedly Cosno is somewhat responsible, I guess, for setting this whole thing up.
Yeah, and and of course he goes back to the what was it to the Archimedes ship, and he's by the end of the episode he's right by the door of where Emily is supposedly. And then of course we also see the guy in the goggles that Bomb has interacted with. I think midway through this season, tailing Cosino to where he's going to Emily.
Ye-
Um, but yeah, the episode, of course, yeah, like despite the fact like that Bomb is reunited with a lot of his friends, they still have to come up with a way to not only escape the workshop, but also to rescue the rest of Bomb's new friends too.
yeah, and also they leave Beta behind with that the researcher woman. Um, and yeah, I mean, I guess like the Beta, he did kind of have somewhat of I guess just a tragic backstory, so they decide not to really do anything with him. I guess they figure he's not really responsible, or well, I guess like he's kind of in a way being controlled. And
Yeah,
so I guess like it makes sense, but it's also like at the same time it's kind of like I'm thinking like, yeah, but once he regains consciousness, it's like it's kind of unpredictable what he's going to do. Like if he's just going to revert back to being just crazy, or we're not really sure like what he's going to do. Um,
yeah. I mean,
so
but according to the doctor, he's being marked for death regardless of what he's going to do.
yeah,
I mean, but Bomb is giving him a chance to, you know, I guess live out the remainder of his life. But according to the doctor, without his special kind of medication, he only has like
a
a
month.
month to live or something. So yeah, it's really unclear of what they're gonna end up doing with Beta at this point.
Yeah. So yeah, the person that that Bomb and his friends go to rescue. I think it was Hyoring or
Yeah,
th-
Howrans.
yeah.
If I can,
Somehow she has been like overwhelmed and captured by Reflejo, and we find out that his abilities. I guess he's been keeping secret this whole time, as he has some kind of he has these like shadow abilities or something, and he's using that to restrain her. Um, and he's yeah, I'm not really sure like what exactly what his ultimate goal is, like what he wants. Um, I mean, other than like trying to obviously like lure Bam over to try to rescue Hyoran or Hyoran, so they can, I guess he can fight him or something.
I think.
Uh,
Well, his original goal was to turn Bomb into like
the
this
ignition
weapon.
weapon, yeah,
Yeah, the ignition weapon like he originally wanted. But now that that plan has been foiled, now he's resorting to fighting Bomb himself. It's possible like he
I think
wants to
maybe he
take
just
the
wants
weapon
to
for
get
himself.
that thorn thing back that Bomb has now. And
Yeah, I think that's the most likely objective that Refugio has at this point because
yeah,
he wants he's deliberately holding Huarun hostage in order to lure Violi back so he can take Thorn weapon for himself.
yeah.
But of course, Bomb despite his more like I guess his more enhanced abilities with the Thorn, I don't think he really utilizes it all that much. I guess for this episode just yet.
Yeah, I was kind of
Like
waiting for him to actually use it, but it seems like he's kind of trying not to use it.
yeah,
But I feel like eventually the way the fight's going, he'll probably be forced to.
yeah. So this despite the fact that that Bomb is using his more upgraded Shinsu abilities, um, Refugio keeps countering with like his smoke or shadow like abilities to to reflect that, and he almost like I guess he almost blasts everyone present in the cave before Bomb manages to reflect that back on him, or not reflect it, or just completely stop the attack.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so with um pretty much with them almost out of options, it's Kun and Rak come up with a plan to help Bomb take Refugio out. But of course, the episode ends from that point, and we also
Well,
see
they
in more.
mentioned something about Hyoron as a hostage or something that
Yeah,
I'm wondering if maybe that might not maybe it's not really her, or is there some kind of illusion or something. But yeah, we're not really sure because of course, like you said, it ends on a cliffhanger. Um, Also, we forgot to bring up, but Lero Rowe points out that Mizuno, I guess, is there too, when he's wanting to meet with Bam again. I'm guessing maybe to like try to fight him again or something. Uh, but yeah, I guess maybe it sounds like they have Mizuno like potentially helping them.
yeah, and originally they wanted to leave the workshop right off the bat, but because of Refugio taking in the hostages, it kind of complicates their plans. Um, of course, we also get to see Endorsi fighting. I think it was like one of the Mad Dogs
Mm.
joining up with Fug. There is one thing that I yeah, that was kind of funny is that she already proclaims Bomb to be her boyfriend already. Uh, I mean, even though like Bomb didn't really kind of return immediately return those feelings just yet because they just reunited by the end of the last episode.
Well, and obviously he's not going to, because he's still. I'm assuming he's still completely obsessed with Rachel. Um, so I mean, I kind of doubt that.
Yeah,
I think it's more so just it's probably just going to be like, I guess, a running joke, or in a way like that she's trying to get Bond to go out with her. Um,
yeah.
but
Yeah, but
yeah,
of course, for her, like she's accompanied by Hats, but of course, she tries to fight like the Mad Dog, but she gets countered and she ends up getting cut in several places, which I don't which so somehow like this Mad Dog supposedly has this like hidden ability that that counters her attack, so it's not clear like like how she's gonna end up fighting this guy.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about the episode. I thought it was pretty good for what it is. I mean, it definitely seems like we're getting to, I guess, the climax of the workshop battle arc. Yeah, I mean, interesting where things ended up going because I mean, I guess, yeah, it did seem like in the latter half of the arc, it seemed like, I mean, and obviously it definitely seemed like Rafflesia was going to be a villain. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about the episode, though. I don't know if you have anything else to say about it.
Yeah, it's just my main, like I think just a minor gripe is just them just revealing that that some time has passed without us really knowing about it for
Yeah,
whatever odd reason,
it
and it's
makes
not
me wonder if that was just if there might have been like I don't know like a lot of like cut content from the source material that were maybe missing from the anime that might explain like why this that was just casually mentioned and it doesn't seem like any time has passed. Uh,
yeah, but the problem is it's not reflected by a lot of the characters' appearances over the
yeah,
years. So and of course they mentioned that it took like from going from like the end of the first season up until right now, it took like Bomb, Bomb and his friends like 7 or 8 years to finally reunite with one another, which is kind of I don't know. That's yeah. I mean, it makes sense if it was just 5 years, but for us not knowing it that the entire season up to this point has lasted maybe 2 3 years, it's kind of odd to me.
well, I don't know. It's just funny because time in a way seems somewhat inconsequential because I mean Rafflesia himself, I think he mentioned like what he was like 1,000 years old or
Uh,
something.
yeah, he mentions he's 1,000 years old. I mean, I could assume that he was a part of some experiment or something, but it's just
Probably.
the normal timeline. I mean, I mean, obviously, Bomb has gotten a lot older, since between the events of first and second season, but
Yeah.
just due to the fact that there was no like, there was no direct indication that reflects like how much time has passed. I mean, I obviously I go off like that little girl that's accompanying with them, that she hasn't even aged significantly during those 3 years or whatever it is, how much time has
Yeah,
passed.
she doesn't really seem to be any different than how she looked in like the first core of season 2.
Yeah. But overall, it is a good episode. I think we only have like two more episodes left uh, before the season ends. And I mean,
Yeah.
it's unclear of like whether or not they're gonna announce like another season after this. I mean, it took like what, like almost 3 years you know since the second season was announced or was released after the first season. So
Mhm.
it's been a long wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I wouldn't be too surprised if they announced the third season, considering there's supposedly a lot of material to adapt from. Um, but yeah, so that all being said, guys, until next time, we will see you all later.